What it do, fam? Justin here with the Miles Matter, and today I'm going to be reviewing the ASICS Superblast 2. Alright, this is like the most sought out shoe right now. People are having a hard time getting their hands on it, which is unfortunate. I hope you guys can get your hands on it if this is a shoe you're really looking forward to. But hopefully my review helps you and gives you a better understanding of how this shoe works, how it performs, and how it differs from the first version, because I have about 200 miles on the first version. Let's start with the upper. So I think they cleaned up this upper a lot. I thought the upper in the first version, around the eyelets, the shoelaces, it was just a very sloppy upper in my opinion. It wasn't my favorite, and I think they dialed it in big time with an engineered mesh, and it just feels a little more complete. But where I have my two issues with the upper, and they're pretty big issues, are one in the heel, and I had this problem in the first version, but I find it hard to get my heel really locked into place. I have, especially in the first version, had to run with the runner's knot, but I really hate running with the runner's knot. I feel like it messes up my cadence, but that's just my own personal thing. So I can lock my foot down and just pull the laces really tight normally, but then my foot starts to feel a little weird. And even when I do that, as someone who has a wide foot, I find the toe box a little too wide and a little too generous on the material. So even though it's a decent lockdown here, I have a little too much room in the toe box, and then my heel's not completely locked in. So it's really just over my midfoot, and it's just annoying. And especially if this is kind of catering towards more of that tempo day styles of shoe. You know, you got the FF Turbo. It's meant to be picked up a little bit. And for me, it's just, I feel like I'm fighting the upper, fighting the lockdown the entire time. And it's just annoying. And I think I decided early on in this version, like, I don't want to deal with it any longer. And so I've already sold this. I'm gonna ship it out in 2 days, but I thought I'd get a review on it while I still have it in my hands. All right, moving on to the midsole, probably the bread and butter of this shoe. You have the FF Turbo Plus. It is, as I'm sure you've heard in mainstream reviewers' videos already, but it is already softer than the first version, which took about 20 to 30 miles to really break in. I really enjoy this version of the midsole. I really appreciate the update that they did to it. And also another plus with the second version, I felt in the first version that it kind of bowed in the middle. So as I was running, it felt not very wobbly, but a little wobbly from side to side. It just never felt like the shoe was completely flat. Where this, they fixed that problem, whatever it was. Maybe it's just a me problem. But this shoe feels very stable, very flat, and I really enjoy this midsole. I will say sizing, again, I find it to run a little long. Maybe I could have went down to a size 9, because the 9.5 feels a little too long on my smaller foot. But I did this in the first version, and the 9 felt too small, and I said I would just, sorry, this is my dog, and I said I would just bite the bullet and run on the 9.5, even though it felt just a little too long. And again, I'm having that same issue in this version. As far as the rubber goes, the outsole goes, I haven't had any issues with it, but I also didn't run in any wet conditions. Whereas in the first version, I probably had around 130 miles where I noticed like mild slipping on wet days. So something to take in mind, you know, like 130 miles and to have some issues with the grip. It's not the best, but I can't say much for the grip, so sorry. All in all, the shoe performs well. It's just, for me, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not catered to my style, I guess. I don't want you guys coming at me with pitchforks and the mob is, you know, on my tail. I would recommend this shoe to people, but it's just not a shoe that works for me. I hope this helps. I know it might be a bummer for some people, but again, like, if it works for you, as with all these running shoes, it's what works for you. There could be a shoe out there that people absolutely hate, and you try it on and you're like, God damn, this is what I've been looking for. It's whatever works for you. So I hope that helped. If you do have a tempo shoe that you swear by, I'm going to try the Deviate Nitro 2 and 3, hopefully. And I want to try the Brooks Hyperion Max 2. Maybe wait for the Mach X2. I don't know. But I want to find that perfect tempo day shoe. And I haven't found it yet. But if you have something, let me know that you swear by. And again, if you've made it this far, much love. And I'll catch you guys next time.